They're going to acting half.
They did seem to get themselves out of order, out of position. Something for Stephen Kearney to look at, no doubt, as the game continues and in coming weeks. Now Kingston through Walsh. Lewis goes long this time. The ball to the right finds the marker. Chip chase from Purtell is fielded well by Jared Hayne. And here's a penalty, a relieving penalty to Parramatta. They applaud him back play. And Petro seeks an explanation.
Petro, Jared had that play the ball. He's made his decision, and you blokes have gone early. That's it. That's it, Petro.
There was no definite call.
There was a call. Thanks, Petro. That was a call.
It was the slowest play the ball of the year. I've got to say, I thought it was really... I don't know why he was playing it so slowly, Jared Hayne. But somehow, see, they've jumped because normally that ball would have been played about 3 seconds earlier.
Maybe he's trying to give his teammates a breather. It does seem that Penrith... We know they're ahead 6-0, but they're certainly on top in this game, maybe by a more significant margin.
I know the refs at times are aware of players balking to play the ball. Billy Slater did it, a few weeks ago or months ago, and the refs were on to him about that, trying to get a penalty out of it. That was just a really slow play, the ball that somehow got his team a penalty.
Well, Penrith had 62% of the ball and spent almost 60% of the time in enemy territory, so Parramatta sucking in the big ones, trying to hang in this game. There's Lachlan Coote. Comes to Ben Smith. Hindmarsh. What's the coach thinking? Now Walsh goes long. Here's Brad Tye. Purtell was the inside option. Tye didn't need him. But he's lost the ball. Maybe he should have used him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think when he dummied inside, he realised that Hayne had Purtell covered. It's really difficult to see if there's a Parramatta hand in there, but he certainly lost control of it. That's the first set that they haven't completed since their first set of the game. The Panthers, it's been pretty good for them. Parramatta now finally with some field position. We haven't seen them in this part of the field tonight, it seems.
Let's see if they can get the back line in the position they need. It's Casey Maguire. Takes the first tackle. Centre field 40 out. Now it's Smith. Stopped by Jennings. Kendry and Burns also involved. Manna. Runs into Nathan Smith. Petro was there. Now Keating to Hayne. 2 second man plays. He's Burt. Beat the first tackle. He's stopped 10 out. Hindmarsh. Tries the big fend. The last for the Eels. Their best attacking opportunity since early in the game along the ground. Not taken at the back by Purtell. Coming through to score, Justin Horrow.
Well, they finally got an opportunity. The Parramatta Eels, Horrow playing out wide left centre. The little kick in here from Hayne. He had it covered. It was a real tough one to get hold of. Adrian Patel, maybe he needed to just try to get down low and stay on the ground with the football, but slipped through the fingers off of his knees. Horrow flying through. Eels on the scoreboard.
Luke Burt adding the extras and locking us up. Golden Point thriller earlier this evening at ANZ Stadium at Homebush, won by the Rabbitohs. A long way to go in this game. 6-all in the early stages, and Jared Hayne's kick spot on. Here's Fui winding up. He started from near the dead ball line. That should settle Parramatta, who for the first 20 minutes of this game have seen not nearly as much ball as Penrith. and much of their own half. They showed what they can do when given an opportunity. And Simon Wolford, was that try exactly what Parramatta needed at this point in time?
Yeah, look, first real opportunity, wasn't it, down their end? But you're right, Badge. Purtell read it really well. He just needed to grasp the ball. But look, the conditions are quite dewy down here. The ground surface quite slippery. And I think we'll see some more errors, as we have seen early in this game. Pretty nervous start from both teams. But ball control is going to be the key. Penrith should have learnt by now. They need to play the football down Parramatta's end. They can't afford to give Parramatta, and in particular Jared Hayne, easy field position.
We just saw a marvellous pick up from Lachlan Coote. I would have loved to see something like that a few moments ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing the difference in pressure, though, when the ball's kicked and there's no one near you for 20 or 30 metres, and you can just relax and get your fingers around the football. But when you're in that position that Patel was in, and you've got chasers coming through, and you know if you don't clean it up, well, it's probably going to lead to an opposition try. You can sometimes snatch at it. That's what he seemed to do.
The kick from Penrith, fielded by Wasili, who tries to direct Luke Bird into position, takes the tackle from Tim Grant. Ronnie Matua, 3 games into his comeback, scored a try last start. Now Manna on the last. Here's Hayne, this time kicking high. It's gone way above Centrebet Stadium, and Lachlan Coote went way above the ground.
Beautiful take. Yeah, beautiful take there from Lachlan Coote. Luke Burt was chasing through hell for leather after that Jared Hayne kick, but I think Burt, he got caught up and tripped over a Penrith player. I think he may have been offside anyway, so perhaps not a bad result there for the Eels.
Lewis, by his own lofty standards, didn't have a happy week last week. Maybe you could blame the origin period, but as a season, he's having a magnificent year.
He scored a much-needed try for the Panthers just after half-time last week. But apart from that, he just couldn't quite lift his team over the line.
4 errors, 6 missed tackles. Not the normal lofty standards Luke Lewis sets.
Well, that's a bit normally about him for the season, isn't it?
Ryan Morgan plays it, and Atkins has a scurry out of acting half. Matthew Keating happy just to turn it inside for Manna. Nothing flash in this set. The last here as Burt keeps the kick low, drills it towards the sideline, and it is perfect. What you'd expect from a man who's playing his 237th NRL game. So ain't there some numbers when you add together Hindmarsh, Sivanasiva and Luke Burt?
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of experience out there on the field. They were always playing that set, the Eels, just for field position, to try to get a nice kick in deep into the in goal or over the line, similar to the one Burt just put in. They had an opportunity to tackle before to actually put it through the hands on the right-hand side of the field, but they elected just to turn it back up the middle of the park. So, being pretty conservative.
Dane Weston preparing to come on for the Panthers as the coaches go to the benches. Nathan Smith crosses the 20. Fui headed for a breather. Moi with 15 tackles and 5 hit-ups in his first stint. Now Travis Burns to Lewis, who dummied to Jennings. The centre supported on the inside, but Luke couldn't get the ball away. They'll get the next best thing, a penalty, and 6 more tackles, which will start in Parramatta's half.
He was flying on the inside there. Michael Jennings, once Luke Lewis had thrown the dummy, just couldn't get it back inside over his shoulder, and you'll see Tim Manna appear on the screen. Just make that tackle. If he wasn't there, Jennings was gone. And yeah, got tangled up a little bit with Lewis to give away the penalty.
And didn't the replay illustrate just how important Mana's tackle was? You were spot on, Gary Belcher. Racing up, Taniela Lasalo nails Lachlan Coote as the ball arrived. And now Grant.
Heads off, heads off!
Walsh with a flat ball. Now Burns inside. They keep coming towards the corner that gave them their first try. Weston takes the tackle. Now Walsh. The offload to Luke Lewis. Walsh, a chip kick. It will come down in the in goal. Safely marked by Ryan Morgan. And he comes back for a quick tap and go. They'll have to regroup quickly here, Penrith. Enough bodies, enough black shirts got back in time. And now the penalty. Is it Tim Grant, the man penalised?
Luke had the ball, he ran. Luke, we've ruled it, okay? That's the way we've ruled it, all
He's
right?
exactly right, Luke Lewis. It's supposed to be the player that catches the ball in the in goal is allowed to sprint back to the 20-metre mark and take the tap. But they've given the ball there to Luke Burt. What happens and has happened all year is then the defensive line is allowed to set as per normal. So they had a genuine complaint there, and to compound the issue there for the Panthers, they've been penalised in the play of the ball.
Shane Shackleton will play it. He's all good. I spoke to you before kickoff, Gary Belcher. Mitchell Allgood used to play in a Toyota Cup front row with a Mitchell Johnson and Anthony Mitchell. The near intercept coming to Penrith. It was Dane Weston with the close call. Yes, Mitchell Allgood, Mitchell Johnson and Anthony Mitchell. I still have nightmares about that front row combination.
Fortunately, they're not in the same team anymore. I'm not sure how far Dane Weston would have gone if he'd latched onto that. He would have got a few metres upfield. All of the Eels were going the other way. Oh, look, I don't think he was even going to play it, and it just ended up in his arms. Almost.
A bit of rain falling in Penrith now, so the greasy conditions that Simon Wilford spoke about earlier on might get a little bit worse. He attempted to reach for the umbrella, Simon.
Well, I think I'll need to, Matty. The feet are numb and the rain is starting to tumble, but as long as you two guys are happy and nice and comfortable up in the box, I'm happy.
No, it's horrible up here. Might not be horrible for Parramatta if they can pile on some more points. The pass from Hayne gets a boo from the crowd, which thought it was off the ground. Parramatta end up where Hayne passed it. No gain. Burt has Shackleton. So good to see Shane Shackleton back and playing every game this season after he posted just one last year because of that terrible injury. But this time Hayne loses his footing and his possession. And Penrith come away with it. Here's Weston with a strong run and his left. Shackleton down in back play. Shane Shackleton is much the worse for wear after a big impact.
Yeah, he's trying to get up, Shane Shackleton.